rent-free in your heads again, huh? I mean, if you're gonna spend your days obsessing over me, you might as well start calling me something respectable. Maybe Daddy Shizzy, or better yet, Papa Nut. Who's the grown-up here? Alright, it's me. Let's go. Call me Daddy, yeah, that's who I am. Running your mind's like a master plan. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, take your pick. I'm rolling in your thoughts while you still act sick. Call me Daddy, it's what you need. Why you chase the crumbs and I take the lead? Living rent-free, that's my name. Go ahead, say it, put some respect on your name. Man, I'm too old, well here's a surprise. I'm the one with the brains while you're stuck with the lies. You act like you're experts, but here's the reality. I'm the one controlling your mental reality. So while you're out there trying to throw shade, I'm sipping coffee and you're feeling betrayed. You're mad, I got the spotlight, now it's my time. So why not call me Daddy or Papa with a rhyme? I'm the landlord and you're just the tenants, stuck in your headspace with no insight, no repentance. Call me Daddy, you know it's true. You'd be lost without me, stuck in the glue. Call me Daddy, I'm holding your mind while you're scrambling, trying to find what's behind. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, don't you see? You're living in my world now, I'm a VIP. Call me Daddy, just let it be. While you're trying to figure out your own identity. Oh, I see you're confused, trying to get it right, spinning your wheels while I'm out of sight. You think you've got it figured, but you got it all wrong. I've been running your minds all along. But sure, keep pretending you don't care. Keep saying you're done, but I'm still in the air. You got no choice but to bow to my name. Daddy Shizzy is here to own the game. You say you don't watch, but you're obsessed. Every word I say puts you to the test. Call me Daddy, Papa Nut, you know you should. Because I've been living rent-free, and you know it feels good. Stuck with Daddy for life. I'm Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, owning your headspace, and there's no escape. Good luck with that.
Holy cow, everybody. How are you doing this evening? Somebody sent Tug a cease and desist. I'll have to check that out. Let's see what that would, what, man, I want to see what that's all about. That ought to be interesting. Give me a second. I'll see if I can pull that up. I had not watched Tug, so I didn't know, because I was spending time building a damn cabinet for my wife. So I have no idea that he sent him a cease and desist. Let me see. Let me pause there and let's see. When did he send this? Let's see. Where did he send him a cease and desist? Was it towards the end or something? I don't see anything there. I don't know. Yeah, you told the person to basically get bent. Yeah, that's exactly what you tell somebody that's telling you, you gotta talk about this. Yeah, actually, yeah, I can. I can talk about these kind of things. You sent it personally while Tug was live? Oh, wow. Hails Raid, welcome, Hails Raiders. Welcome. Beginning. At the very beginning? Oh, let's see. I see there was a ton. Let's see. Let's see. No, there was I saw some stuff there about Stacy Nat, and yeah, I mean that stuff's crazy. And of course, Lynette Preston. I mean, posting up because of what you're doing. Oh, yeah, well.
At Jack_Miles has become a
Hey,
member.
Jack Miles, good to see you.
Laughing at the Flipper Fallout.
Welcome. Laughing at the Flipper Fallout. Yeah, the Flipper Fallout's crazy. Cynthia, Fire Fairy, $2 says for the rental free for the rents. I love it. Thank you very much, Cynthia. No. That's not how I choose my mods, but That is appreciated. Thank you very much, Cynthia, for the $2 super chat. That is wonderful. Doug responded. Ooh, I can't wait to see how that fallout's going to go. I don't think it was posted live. I think it was an email to Doug. Doug did not show up, but responded during live. You have to watch it. Yeah, I mean, I'll have to go back and watch it. Maybe I'll watch it tonight after I'm done. I mean, tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. I don't have work tomorrow. But I do have to get some work done tomorrow, if that makes any sense. Yeah, even though tomorrow is a holiday, I will be doing some crazy stuff. Thank you so much. Ooh, look at all the members. Yeah, Tug is definitely on fire. Man, all the new members. Give me a second. Let me pull that up so I can see who all my members are and who was the wonderful gifter there. Let me get in here real quick. Give me a second. We're gonna do a pop out on the chat and pop out chat so I can see all of that's going on. Yeah, I'm slacking tonight. Holy cow. Hey, maybe not with the 10 gifted memberships and one for Jack Miles, C Mac and Cheese, Melody Culture, Kim Bishop, Joe Laundry, Joe, the awesome MS, Miss J, Miss it. I'm going to say that name wrong. Glad for music. I am glad you're for music. Let D have it. Let D have it. Yeah. Let me read that thing. Mostly harmless fuzzball. Jenny, good to see you here in. Emily, the fellas, or the fellages. Jack Miles, good to see you. He was typing a response live. Ooh, fell asleep during it, missed it. Well, then you definitely would need to go back and check that out, like I am, because that'll be interesting. See, there's this whole concept, and I've never understood that people that are covering the Hales stuff all talk to each other. And Squid can confirm this. When was the last time I talked to you, Squid? I'm just trying to think. It's probably been what, 3 months, something like that. I mean, I don't understand this reasoning. Maybe it's a sense of guilt because they're over there plotting and scheming. They have things to do. I can't wait till all these flippers start throwing out exactly the kind of shady shit that they were doing, because that they were. Here's the thing. All you flippers out there, doesn't matter how shady it was, that you feel that you're going to be implicated in it, you should hand over what you got. Just saying. That might be the best way to go about it. They all talk to each other, so they assume project what they do onto the side. Yeah, I mean, I think I talked to Tug on probably the most recent basis, but that's usually just like, hey, did you see this new document that came out? Or hey, do you have a copy of this document that came out? That's about the length of our conversations. Yeah, it's usually pretty short. It's just like, hey, have you seen this new document that came out? I haven't seen it. Send it on over. And yeah, and Jeremy, I'm trying to think when the last time I talked to Jeremy was. I think it was right about the time that we were putting out the yeah. It wasn't too long ago. But yeah, there's just not a whole lot of conversation that happens over here. It's really interesting to see that like you're right. I think it's a projection thing, because they've got this idea that I think I talk. Well, no, I would say I talk to Rosalind a little bit more often. Usually I'll send like pictures to Megan. Like if I see something really cool, I'm like, oh, this is pretty. Yeah, I would love to see them depose those. That would be really interesting. The conversations I have with Megan, like
At
picture of a
Traveling Fools
sunset.
2020 has become a
It's like,
member.
look at the sunset.
Yo,
It just makes me so happy.
smash that thumbs up.
Each person I send something different to, but as far as like meaningful conversations, well, I guess that's subjective. Thank you very much. Traveling Fools, yo, smash that thumbs up. Yo, thank you. Definitely Traveling Fools. Good to see you. And yeah, I can't wait to see what Tug's response is. I'll have to, maybe he'll send me a copy of that if I ask him. That would be really good to see. That'd be really fun. Oh my gosh. And this is for all the new members.
Welcome to the shit show.
Yes.
Every single day.
A new flavor of fuckery, cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash, poppycock, ball, and fuckery. Oh, now this is going to be really interesting here, because tonight, and I was sitting there thinking, we sort of flew through those depositions. Now I'm going to go back and probably go through Bubbles little deposition of Jeremy that ended up, getting him in all kinds of trouble. That's going to be a really interesting one, but I wanted to go through these ones with Adam, or Amanda, sorry, and Scott Stark, because I thought they were pretty interesting, and how much they give away. And if we have time, we might get started on another one, but those were the two main ones that I really wanted to go through tonight, because I was just like, this is going to be interesting. Just to see. And then of course we have another one from April 3rd, and I might get there to that one, but we'll just have to see how it goes. I'm sure that next week things are going to start popping off like crazy. Probably, I would say around Wednesday, you're going to hear all kinds of chitter chatter going on. It's craziness is going to start happening. And then of course we're going to run into the weekend, and the weekend's going to be lit up because, well, there's all kinds of hearings going on the 23rd, which, well, that's going to be interesting. You've got Jeremy's Ohio, you've got Lips and Chips. They're supposed to show up in court. Do you think they'll show up? We'll see. We'll see if they actually show up to defend their position, or maybe ABC Legal just says, you know what? We've screwed around with these assholes long enough. They've been avoiding it like crazy, and we're done with them. But I do have something really cool to show you. Now, this is a one of a kind. There's no other ones like this. Just so you guys know, there's no other ones like this that I know of out there in the world. And that's this right here. Oh yeah, it's a coffee mug. It is protected from ADA. Another dumbass. Now, as you will see, there's an error with this one here. It has to do with this right here. This was supposed to be set up in the center of it, but the problem was whenever I had put it on this cup, it messed up, and so it is sitting up high like this. But it's the same logo that you can also find on the store. So that is what the coffee cup looks like. It is a nice, big old pretty coffee cup. It is one of a kind. It's an interesting piece of history here, because you're not going to get. Yeah, I'm sure Todd would have laughed at him. I would have laughed at him too. But this, you can get a protected from ADA cup. It will protect you from the ADA. You can just, sip out of this thing. Also, I think the logo showed up in the wrong spot. I think it's supposed to be a little more off to this side. So it's like all kinds of messed up, but I have the only one of these, and it's awesome. But you can always go and get the merch. Sign it and let Jeremy auction it off. I could probably do that. I'll have to. Yeah, maybe I'll sign it on the back of it. Give a nice little signature on the back of it, because that is a one of a kind piece. But I'll keep it for a little while longer. Actually, he said bring it full. That's what I would say too, Wolfgang. That is exactly what I would say too. I would say the same thing to some asshole like that. Like, bring it. You know, it's no different than what I said to these assholes that think that they want to claim that I'm practicing law without a license. I've never claimed to be an attorney. I've never received money for any sort of legal advice, and I don't give legal advice. So there you go. Just reading court documents doesn't change what I do. And, you know, it was to the point where whenever I saw all that, I was like, you know, I should have that disclaimer. And yeah, don't mess with Tug. Chat from C Mac and Cheese member, 2 months. Can you let Shizzy know the timestamp on Tug's live is 1:35:56. I might check that out. 1:35:56. I will write it down. 1:35, 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 56 seconds. 56 seconds. Maybe we'll check that out a little bit later on tonight, because I'm going to find that really interesting. I'm a public records felon too. Okay, that'll be interesting. I can't wait to see that the popo show up and say, "Oh, you've been talking about things on the internet." See how well that works out for you. We're talking about the same chick that called the cops on her husband because he shut off her Wi-Fi. Yeah. Those are always good ones. Those are always good ones. And if you missed last night's stream, don't worry. It is still up there. I don't feel any need to membership only that one. Then Shizzy saw it, but you are welcome. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Did it snow in Georgia? No, not that I know of. They said that it was snowing, but I was outside cutting. Well, actually, I was doing the sanding. So my wife has found some empty space in a cabinet. It's like in a corner cabinet, and wanted me to come through the other side and build it out. And so I put a shelf in it. I've built that out. Initially, she said she wanted to have a drawer, but I talked her out of it because it would just cut down on the amount of space she would have to use. So it's basically 2 shelves, and she can put stuff that she doesn't use all the time. Like, she's got a blender, like the kind of blender you'd use for like margaritas. And then she has a mixer. I think she put the mixer down there too, but it cleared up some other cabinet space for things that she doesn't use often, but you know, she doesn't want to get rid of. So that's what I was doing today. And it was freaking cold, and it only got colder. And then this came in today. Well, it might have come in last night, but this came in, and I went out to the mailbox and was like, man, my ears, every single thing in my body was aching. Every single thing in my body was aching. But yeah, this is me doing felonious.
Everything shown on this stream is either publicly available material, content that was previously posted by the original source, or my own protected commentary and opinion. Any documents, screenshots, or excerpts are redacted and displayed in compliance with YouTube's community guidelines.
This stream is for documentation, criticism, analysis, and public discussion. It is most explicitly not for harassment, not exploitation, and not arousal. I did not hack anything, intercept anything, steal anything, or sneak around like a raccoon in a dumpster. Everything here was lawfully obtained or sourced with consent.
This is also not cyberstalking for the mental midgets out there, meaning repeated targeted behavior toward a specific person, and that would cause a reasonable person substantial emotional distress and serves no legitimate purpose. Commentary, criticism, documentation, and discussion of public material with a legitimate purpose do not meet that standard, no matter how pissed off it makes you.
Being offended isn't a cause of action. Being uncomfortable isn't a crime. Making bad choices and then being shocked by the results is a personal journey, not a legal violation. Hurt feelings aren't illegal. Embarrassment isn't illegal. Consequences are not harassment. And your own behavior making you look bad because of your own choices is tragically 100% legal. Deal with it.
Hey, don't know the difference between a fact and an opinion. and you're already rage typing in all caps. This may not be the stream for you. And if any of this is genuinely making you spiral and you are in the need of a voice on the other end, pick up the phone. In the US, you can call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline for immediate support. Viewer discretion is advised.
Monkey butts is hilarious. Yes. You got snow in Macon. Damn. Yeah, we didn't get any snow that I'm aware of. It was cold, but more wind than anything. This offend me is that AI makes beautiful women. Why would it offend you? I think it's awesome. They make beautiful men too. Have you ever seen me? Oh, watching football and lurking. Well, Flipper, you are more than welcome to hang out as much as you want to. Or that's F555 Flipper, something like that. But thank you very much. Welcome, Florida Flipper. I think that's what it is. I think that's Florida Flipper. And I think Florida Flipper also does the same thing. Oh, please tap that thumbs up or thumbs down. All opinions are welcome. We like it either way. The nuts, thank you. Thank you very much, Cynthia. That's awesome. Bears denied at the goal line. Ooh, Florida Flipper. See, I was pretty sure that I had that right. You've been using lips filters. Yes, that's exactly what I do. They didn't flip, they just left the fleas. Well, it's not hard to leave the fleas. Yes. And the super tips are on and enabled. Thank you very much for that, Heather May. I appreciate it. I always forget to do stuff because, well, I'm a slacker. I guess that's the best way to put it, as I slack at a lot of stuff. But yes, those are the super tips. So if you want to get monkey butts talking, well, there's a place to do it. And also, you don't have to make it all chat. You can also do text in there, but it defaults to chat. A little love. Thank you very much, Melissa Jane, MJ, my beautiful Australian, lovely side boob lady. Thank you very much, Jane. You are awesome, and I hope that you're doing well. It is so good to see you, and I hope that you're having fun. Now, Melissa Jane does words on stream. If you've never seen it, it's just a game, and it constantly rotates. You can go in there and you can try your skills out on picking out words. It's pretty damn awesome. Then the super tips at the top of the chat. Thank you very much. I shall do that. And let's do that right there. And a pin to the top. Thank you. See, this is why I never do this stuff on my own. Thank you very much, Heather May. I appreciate it. Yes, it's right up there. And then there is merch right there at the Nut House. 8 Creators Spring. It is awesome. It's good to see you, Melissa Jane. Man, the worst part is I have a box that I was supposed to send to Melissa Jane, and I've just completely forgot about it for like 2 years, and I keep seeing the box. I'm like, what's in this box? I'm like, oh, that's right. It's supposed to go to Melissa Jane. I'm a bad friend, really bad friend. And I still, the worst part is I still have Junior's turtle from 2024. See, Junior 2024. And here it is. We're in what, 2025? 2026. Holy crap. See? I'm 2 years behind. 2 years behind getting the shit done. I slack so bad, but it's cool. I 3D printed this little turtle, and this was before Hail stuff, well before Hail stuff, but that's all 3D printed. There's no ink in there. It's all done on a 3D printer. I did one of these for I did one for my nephew and one for my niece. And it has their name on the bottom of it and the year that I did it for them. And they still have them. I gave them a big one and a small one. So and that was before any of Jeremy Hill stuff. Interesting, isn't it? Like how weird that kind of stuff works out. Melissa Jane's channel is fun. I try, but I'm not as talented and it hurts my brain. Well, that's the thing. It's all about just having a little bit of fun. You know, you get enough people in there, you can usually guess those words. I'm trying to think what the highest score I've seen in there. It's been pretty good because I used to run that whenever I was doing trial stuff. I would just pop that up there and have the words on stream. It made it a little bit easy to not have to, you know, especially if you needed to take a break. Can you double check the link? I got it from you, but maybe the link is off. Let me see. I will check. If you got it from me, it's probably correct. And let's see. It is. Boom. Copy that. And yeah, that's it. Shizzy voice. That's right. Super tip. GG's voice. That is correct. That is the place to go. Someone said it isn't working. Well, let's see. And I will go here. Oh, it isn't working. Here, let me try it again. I will give you the right one just to make sure. I think I see what the problem is. There's no I in super tip. That's why it didn't work. Paste there, and there we go. I put it there. That one right there should be working. There was an I missing from the word tip. Go to channel and replace pin message. There you go. I got it up there. So there's an I in the P. That's what you missed. That's why it wasn't working. It's working now. It should be. And yeah, it happens. I was just looking at it. I was like, oh, it's missing an I. There's some awesome people in here that make it fun. Yes, everybody makes it fun here. This is the place to be. To have a little bit of fun on a Sunday night. Why not? Don't worry about it, Heather May. It happens. I don't stress that stuff. And so if people are wanting to, they can go check it out. It's over there. It's fun. I would like to buy a vowel. But why isn't C a vowel? It has an E in there, I guess, you know. Okay, now this is Randall Shockett on behalf of the plaintiff. Randall Shockett, Deuce Manskin on behalf of the and this is the examination of Amanda Martin. Filters are messing with his eyes. Yeah, that does happen. Super tits, yes. Examination of Amanda Martin, directed by Mr. Shockett, crossed by Ducey, redirect by Mr. Shockett, certificate of oath, deposition certificate, read and signed letter, exhibit marks for identification, was a document titled Amanda Martin's Post, petition for order to show cause, order directing preservation of evidence, 53. Certified question by Mr. Shockett, page 55, line 23. Question, do you know that your son had what's called an incident with Mr. Hales at the barbecues in Chiefland? Whereupon, having testified, acknowledged, blah, 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 she says, I do. Shockett says, okay, good morning, Miss Martin. She responds, good morning. I'll turn my chair a little bit so I can see. I'm having trouble hearing the witness. I'll speak up. Can you hear me now? Good morning. Mr. Deuce, can you hear her? Yes, I can hear her. Yes. By the way, if I do log off because it's a waste of time, I'll ask you to let me know when we're finished so I can log back on for cross. Wow. I mean, think about the attitude here. Think about the attitude of, you know, you're deposing a witness. You're deposing a witness. He shows up for this deposition, and he believes it's a waste of time deposing a witness. Imagine that. Imagine. Could you imagine if you were Amanda Martin sitting there, you're being deposed. I think that's right. Yeah, it might be right. No, this is the Amanda Martin that was a court reporter. Okay. Not a court reporter. She was a witness, an advocate. Basically, what she was there to do was to walk people through the process and everything. She's supposed to be pointing them in the right direction, giving them a little bit of support. She worked in Levy County. And she had issues, victims advocate. Thank you. Supposedly. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yes, victims advocate. Now, she has since moved on to bigger, better things. Don't know, don't care. I mean, this has to do with, she was a really bad one, yes. And they have issues with Jeremy Hales, but you would think that imagine you're a victim's advocate, you're being called in for a deposition, you get called in for a deposition, and the attorney on the other side says, this is a waste of time. Imagine saying that to somebody that you're supposed to be helping out there. Yeah, Jeremy was the victim in that one. So, and he says, that's fine, whatever, I'll put you in the waiting room. You can do whatever you want. And when I'm done, if you want to be, I'll put you in the waiting. And when you're ready, I'll take you out of the waiting room and put you back on here. Okay. Let me know. He says, I will let you know at my request to put me back in the waiting room. Thank you, Fallen Hero. Been here for 8 months. Hi.
At Fallen Hero 4567 has become a member.
Thank you,
Hi,
brother.
upside down face emoji.
Good to see you, Fallen Hero. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another 8 months. I love it. And now he says, I will let you know at my request to put me in the waiting room. He says, you got it. By Mr. Shockett. What do you prefer I call you? She says, a band is fine. He says, you can call me Randy. I'm Randy Shockett. We just met. As you know, I'm Mr. Hale's lawyer. My office is in Trenton, Florida, and you're here. You're not a party to this case. You're here as a witness to certain facts that we need to explore that involve the relationship between Mr. Hales and the two defendants. Have you ever given a deposition before? Yeah. Really? That's interesting. In doing my research for this, I don't practice criminal law, so I really don't know what a victim's advocate does. Or you don't testify, you don't give depositions. No, it's a respect thing. These are a respect thing for victims advocates, that we were never called for deposition or for trial. Right? So mutual respect between the prosecutors and the criminal defense lawyers. Correct. Is it like, do you know what a guardian ad litem is? Yes, I'm aware of that. Is it similar to that somehow? Yes, the roles are very similar. Let's start with that, because I really do need to ask that. You are a victim's advocate. No. You have been a victim's advocate. Yes. For how long? Approximately 10 years. So you're an experienced victim's advocate. Is that fair to say? It depends on someone's definition, but yes. Can you tell us what the duties and responsibilities are of a victim's advocate? So it depends on like the type of victim's advocate. Okay. Are there different roles depending on the type of victim advocate? Right. So a law enforcement victim advocate at the sheriff's office has a different role than I did as a victim advocate at the prosecutor's office. Let me stop right there. So I saw that. So the sheriff's office has victims advocates. Correct. Then the court, the 8th Circuit, has victims advocates. The state's attorney's office, correct, of the 8th Circuit. Correct. Okay, Brian Kramer, correct. Was that your supervisor, Brian, ultimately? Yes. He was my elected official. Yes. Not my direct supervisor, but okay, fine. So you have experience. I understand in both. Correct. Tell us, as a sheriff's victim advocate, what did you do? So there I ultimately would respond to crime scenes and ultimately help those immediately on the scene. So more of a frontline response, whereas the state's attorney's office, it's more of a on the backside of it. Sounds dirty and kinky. Hey, Mr. Q, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Yeah, thank you. So after law enforcement has been there, they process things. A crime has occurred and the arrest has been made, or a sworn complaint has been done. Then it is sent over to the state's attorney's office, and at that point, it's kind of the backside of it. So who appoints you to a case when you're working for the state attorney? How do you know you have a victim to advocate for? If there's a victim listed on an affidavit, it doesn't matter if the crime was a criminal mischief, a petty theft, or a violent crime. If there was a victim listed, then there was a victim advocate assigned to it. That's how it was when I was there. Things have since changed due to funding and things of that nature, so I'm not familiar with how things are now. So I can't speak on that. So when you say now, are you referring to the sheriff's victim advocate or no, state? 8th Circuit state attorney? Correct. Got it. As far as how do you know things? How are you assigned a case to the sheriff's office? Yes. Things are much different. Normally, you're notified by law enforcement that they have encountered a victim, that they need assistance, and that's normally. Also, when I was there, again, that's been many years ago, I would follow up on the following morning after, an arrest had been made the previous night to look to see if there were any domestic batteries, violent crimes or people crimes. So you basically, once there's an arrest, that's the possibility when you're working as a victim's advocate for the sheriff, that a victim's advocate be assigned just upon the arrest. Is that right? I think she deserves a little crossing guard here, just to make sure I stick with something here. I don't know her, so I don't care. Oh, yeah. It says, is that right? Well, upon the arrest.
At Taz_67 Invader
Thank you,
has become a
Taz.
member.
Different days, same old shit show. I love
emoji,
it.
show.
Thank you.
LOL, rolling on the floor laughing emoji, smiley face emoji.
Oh,
rolling
thank
on
you.
the floor laughing
Thank you,
emoji.
Taz. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Upon the arrest or prior, so if we had an investigation of a sexual battery or domestic batteries, opposed to the normal batteries like you put in your car, there's a multitude of things that would call victims advocate on. Okay. So when it got to the court, did you ever see a case where you were a victim's advocate when you were working for the sheriff and then got assigned to a different victim's advocate with the 8th Circuit with the state attorney office? Correct. Normally they did not bleed over, so once it was set to the state's attorney's office, the new victim advocate at the state's attorney's office would take over. So the sheriff's victim advocate is done typically at that point, almost always. There are rare occasions that doesn't happen, but it is unusual. Okay, got it. Now, if I'm a victim's advocate, let's pretend I am. What can I do to help somebody? You don't testify in court, so correct. I have. That's why I'm like, what do you do? I'm sorry to act so basic, but you don't testify in court. I have no idea. Well, a lot of times it just comes down to informing victims of their rights, of just giving them guidance through the justice system. Sometimes it's just listening. Sometimes it's responding to, going to court events. Okay. With a victim? Yes, with a victim, or in lieu of them, if they cannot be present. So when we're depending really on the type of case we're talking here, that is if you have a simple battery, one of those little simple batteries that you put inside your, flashlight, that's non-domestic, they may not get the same interaction or same attention as I should set as a serious homicide case. They're not going to have the same number of interactions and services. I thought it was my lollipop for a second. It could be Rosalind. Do you want to bring your lollipop on? just let me know. I'll send you an invite and you bring your lollipop on. If you want to, Rosalind. I'm gonna have fun either way. It's okay. That's that. I talk to Rosalind often. Let's see. I'll see if I can send her some. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna save that because that's interesting. I don't know what it is. And expert. No, that's expert. I love it. And there we go. That right? Nope, the wrong person. I'm Slack so bad. And there we go. There it is. What the hell is this? Okay, that makes sense now. All right. I was like, what the hell is that? Crazy stuff. I'm going to get out the sewing needle, some socks, and make some sock puppets. Sock puppets. Sock puppets. Sock puppets. Is this one of those services helping them get in touch with any sort of compensation fund? Yes. So the state of Florida does have a crimes compensation fund. Absolutely. Again, depending on the type of crime, we can certainly lead them in that direction. We don't usually help too much in that department, but you can point them in the right direction. Absolutely. And we can, whoop, I just flip my finger puppet off. Well, Duke, have a good nap. Definitely. No, you get some rest. Absolutely. And we can point them in the direction of another way, which is a domestic violence center, Three Rivers Legal Services that will handle restraining orders, things of that nature. So we will refer out services. I see. And how do you communicate with the victim? Well, normally they would call. They are told to call you. Yes. At this point, let's not talk about the sheriff anymore. I got it. Yeah, state's attorney's office. Let's assume for the rest of this deposition that we're talking about a case where it transferred, like you said. Correct. Then they would call. I'm sorry. They would call the office. So they're told to call you. Well, most of the time they would call, I think even without prompting. So they would just call, and if they did not again, depending on the type of crime, obviously, if it was a homicide or something where we had injured victims, typically we would I would try to call them and get them scheduled in for testimony relatively soon, depending on what the prosecutor instructed me to do. Went back to Tug's stream and got you a time. Thank you, Tammy. I believe I already have a time. It's 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 56 seconds. I believe that time is correct. In the criminal case, and my fingers are too tired for that. In the criminal case, yes. Are you allowed to email them? Yeah, there's nothing prohibiting me from doing that. It was not common, but it's not really common, right? Not typically out here. They just call you. Yeah. How about texting? Can they text you? They can. I had a work-issued cell phone, which is good to know. I had a work-issued cell phone. Okay, do you offer to text? Do you offer to say, if you need me, here's my cell phone number. It's on my business card. Oh, it was on your business card. So they have it right there? Correct. All right. And so you just, thank you for telling me this because blah, 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 just sort of getting through. And then you decide whether or not you can do it or not. Like if someone says to you, I want 50,000, I want to get paid. I'm sure you've gotten people that ask you that stuff. You can't do that, right? Yeah, over the years, one time I had somebody request like dog food, just something random. Certainly if it's something within my means, like they're hungry and need food, I definitely tried to do that. I could try to help with that. But as far as like 50 grand, no, I've never quite had that request. Well, let's just say I had a lot of money. How do you get compensated from this? He stole from me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I would point them in the direction of victim's compensation if that was a crime that applied. It was a crime that applied. Okay. And if that was if you don't know, oh, by the way, you've never given a deposition before. You're doing great. I've not ever given them, but I have sat in hundreds of them. Sounds like you're really experienced in that too. Okay. So this is a court proceeding, even though you're not in Judge Davis's courtroom. We're in the conference room. It's a court proceeding. I'm aware. Okay, so I'm going to be asking you, and have asked you already, a series of questions. You're going to give your answers. Your answers are under oaths. You know that, right? I'm aware. And so even though we're not in this courtroom, your testimony, I have to tell you this. And I tell every deposition witness this. It's nothing personal. The answers you're giving today as a consequence of the oath are still subject to penalty of perjury, as if you were before Judge Davis. That's correct. Okay, and if I ask you a question, and this dovetails into that, if I ask you a question, you're not sure of my question, don't answer it, okay? I'm aware, yes, sir. I know the rules. Okay, you know the rules, no guessing. There's a guessing penalty here. Yes, sir. It's not like high school where you get multiple choices, pick one. No, 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 no. We're here seeking the truth. That's it. Absolutely. And if you don't know or don't remember, that's a great answer. Just tell us. Good. Now we got that over with. And if you need a break at any time, just let me know. I'm ready to get this over. I'm ready to be done. Well, I know you are, but just, yeah. I've already started, so all right. And again, I apologize for being late. I just misread. I'm going to go a little further now. So you're allowed to strike that. Is there any training that victim advocates gets? You're laughing. I mean, I have no idea. Yeah, I'm laughing because that's a great question. Okay. So most of the training the victim advocates gets is really on-the-job training. Truthfully, I didn't know what I was doing when I was hired. I had no idea. I just know I had a passion, and I'm going to ask you about that. I know you have a passion for victims, more than you probably know. Okay. But no, so there's a 40-hour class that they sent you for. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's like the designation class, but it's at the beginning of your employment. Yeah, so you go in the beginning, and then you go every so often renew it, like continuing education. Correct, but to be very honest, I mean, it teaches you the very basics. Nothing teaches you to be a victim advocate other than dealing with victims every day. Did you ever tell you can do all these things except for this and that, or here's a list of things that you can do in the training? No, they never tell you. Okay. If they do, I don't remember that. You're allowed to talk to the attorneys. Yes. In a case, yes. Including the accused attorney. Yes. Because that was common. Yes, very common. Oh, okay. So you're allowed to talk to the judge, not in the courtroom, about a case. Yeah. No, that is no. That is against the rules. That's unethical. It's like ex parte. I can't tell you what it is. That's a technical, like, legal term. Crazy dog. Someone told you can't tell the judge anything unless you're in the courtroom talking to. I just know that would be unethical. Okay. I don't think anyone has ever told me that. It's something you wouldn't do. It's unethical. You think? Absolutely. Are you allowed to talk to witnesses? Not the victim. So if they were to call to this office, it would happen sometimes where a witness would contact our office about certain cases. Hello, Mama. If asked questions, I would only give information that was public record. So if they had a question about when the next court event was, that is something that they can read online. I had no problem helping them gather that information, but specific information on a case, no. I got you. Now we're getting into this. Thank you for educating me. My dog's barking. Your dog's losing their crap. Give me just a second. I need to go check something out. And if I disappear for longer, then you'll know something bad's happened. But I got a dog losing its mind right now. So give me just a short bit, and I will play you the Shake song if that works for you guys. Give me just a second, because for whatever reason, dog is losing his mind, and there's nothing worse than having a dog that I can hear, but you can't. So give me a second, and I will give you a little bit of music to make your day wonderful. Let me find it. Is that on Kicking Puppies? No, it's not on Kicking Puppies. That would be a perfect song for this. Let's see. And we'll do. Nope, that's not it either. I'm really doing bad at this, aren't I? And here we go. We'll just give you a little bit of a dance. Be right back. Why is that not working? Doggone it. Copy. And let's see. Oh, that's why I hit the wrong thing. Jeez. No. So he's still up there barking. There we go. I'm having a wonderful time doing this. It's crazy. Yahoo! Yeah, just it's crazy whenever I don't have this stuff already set up to do. But I've got a crazy dog losing his mind. We're watching our neighbor's dog, and he's got issues right now. I'll be right back.
Step aside, y'all, it's my time to shine. I'm feeling the groove with these hips of mine. Hands in the air like spaghetti gone rogue. My knees are jelly and my hips just broke. Shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. Wobble it, wiggle it, shake that ass. Do a jig or a jog, wiggle it to the side, or break that hip bone by moving your ass. Step up or stand aside. My shoulders pop like a rusty hinge. My fingers point like they're on a binge. Twirl like a tornado, then drop real low. It's not planned, it's a shit sideshow. I've got the rhythm of a clock that's broke. My dance floor moves are a big effing joke. Shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. Wobble it, wiggle it, shake that ass. Do a jig or a jog, wiggle it to the side, or break that hip bone by moving your ass. Step up or stand aside. Rig like a lava lamp, mesmerizing glow. You can't help but watch me steal the show. I summon the shake, the shimmy, the twist, a mix of genius and a big old fist. You're drawn in close, your feet start to twitch, feeling the groove like a broke-ass bitch. Yeah! Shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. Wobble it, wiggle it, shake that ass. Do a jig or a jog, wiggle it to the side, or break that hip bone by moving your ass. Step up or stand aside. Now we're all in the shake, no need to be shy. Move like spaghetti and reach for the sky. We'll dance like we're cursed, laugh to a sore. Shizzy whiz nut reigns forevermore. So join the dance, let your weirdness unfurl. We're shaking ass, not a care in the world.
Yeah. All right. Don't worry, the little dog is safe and nothing bad happened. So it's good. It's good. It's about making other people happy. It's about feeling the music, moving, make you happy. Just watch all the people in the video dance, make themselves happy. That's exactly what it is. They're just happy people. Happy, shiny people everywhere. I got you. So now we're getting to this thing. For educating me, I feel like I know a little more about victims advocates. Do you know Russell Meeks? Yes. How do you know him? I know his son, Rock, but you don't know Russell very well, the dad. No, other than just being Rock's dad. Have you ever met Russell Meeks? Yes, when we were kids. So you grew up in Levy County? Levy County. Where did you go to high school? Chiefland High School. Okay, great. And Meeks' son went to Chiefland also? I'm not going to answer personal questions, Mr. Shockett. It's not a personal question. Where I went to school is personal, and that was more than I wanted to release. I'm just being honest. I'm asking, do you know what high school Russell Meeks' son attended? I do not. Where did you meet Mr. Meeks' son? So we were in a small community. I understand. I live here. Everybody plays ball together. You live here, but if you're not from here, like you grew up here as, you know, a youngin', knee high, everybody just knows everybody. And I don't know how to explain that. I know you don't. I'm getting it. It's soaking in. I got it. Answer. So, I mean, I do not know Russell. If I were to see him at Walmart, I would not speak to him. I do not know him. Let me tell you why I asked, because at one of the hearings in this case, I think he sat next to you or very close to you in one of the hearings. That is incorrect. You never saw him at a hearing in this case? Absolutely. He sat several like pews ahead of me. When I walked in, I know exactly which one you're talking about. I walked in, I sat on probably the very back row, which is what I would typically do if I came to observe a hearing. Okay, but you're able to identify Russell Meeks. Yes. So you know what he looks like. I am very good at observing. You know what he looks like? Yes. Have you ever spoken with him? Not that I can ever remember. Rock, yes, but not Russell. Okay, I got you. And maybe Miss Mary Jane, his mama, at one point, but Mr. Russell, no, never. And I understand the Mr. Russell thing too. That's around here too. Got you. You know Stephanie Barron, the realtor. Real estate agent, yes. There you go. Okay. When I first met her, they got the house here. I was Mr. Randy. Okay. That's a respect thing. I got you. Do you know Mark? You do know Mark Feather. He grew up here. I do know Mark in a community like that level. I do not know Mark that way. The only way I know Mark is through professional. I mean, like professional, but we worked together so much that him and we just became friendly. And you had cases when you were a victim's advocate with the sheriff, correct? With Mark Feather. Yes. So did you know Mark Feather represented Jeremy Hales? I did not know that. Right? Tell us what you know about this case with Miss Preston, Mr. Hales, since you were at some point the victim's advocate for Miss Preston. Is that right? So I'm going to be as straightforward as I can be. I knew them in a capacity as a victim. Who's them? Both of them? Well, I was introduced to Lynette first when she came in as a capacity as a victim due to Marcy's Law. I'm not going to discuss any of the facts of the case or anything I know in that capacity. You know, the public records request can be done through that. So are you asking me specifics in reference to a criminal case, or can you just be more specific about what criminal case? That's how Mr. Hales was never charged with the crime. So it was a domestic violence case. So I think you and I are on two different pages, and I apologize. Ooh, interesting. Interesting that the people are believing, and this is something that's sort of been spread around quite a bit, and it's sort of important in this aspect. And I want to bring this up because there's people in Levy County, there's people on the interwebs that believe Jeremy has done something criminal, that he's a convicted criminal, that he's done all of these bad things in Levy County, that he was there in a criminal capacity with Lynette Preston. And they keep pushing this thing out there, telling people that Jeremy is a criminal. Jeremy is a criminal. Jeremy is a criminal. Jeremy's done bad, horrible things. Jeremy's a criminal. And after a while, people just start picking up on it and it's that whole gossip rumor mill bullshit that gets spread around. And it's interesting because I was reading this story earlier today, and that's sort of what struck with me on this. And this guy was a comic book artist, and he had put together a comic, and he couldn't get any traction on it. Like nobody would showcase it, nobody would do anything. And come to find out, the town that he lived in, and I don't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. I'd have to go back and look at it. Was Stephen Whitaker is the name. Now he was a Stephen J. Whitaker. And in the same town, there was also another Stephen Whitaker. Well, that Stephen Whitaker had been arrested for doing inappropriate things with children. This comic book personality that did comic books happened to have the same last name. And one of his friends pulled him aside at one of these, like Comic-Con conventions and said, is it true that you're a PDF file? And he looked at him and was like, oh God, no. He goes, well, there's a guy from your town that is, and it's your name. And so he went and did research on it, found out that there was this guy that had the same name that was a PDF file, and ended up serving time. The only problem is this particular Stephen Whitaker was 6'2", dark hair, does not look anything like the guy that committed the crime, which was like 5'1" or some crap like that, with red hair. Completely different person. So he went out and had to actually correct this issue so people would know that this is not the same person, that the rumor mill that's getting spread around by about this Stephen Whitaker is a completely different Stephen Whitaker, because he's not paying attention to what all the social media shitheads are doing. He's creating comic books. That's all he's doing. And when he had to actually, clear up his name, but the amount of loss that he incurred on it was because of just a misidentification. Nobody actually, was it a comment about mac and cheese? No, it wasn't. Nobody was able to understand that whoever picked up the story and ran with it, it got spread out to all these publications, and nobody would give him any work. He was having a hard time selling his comic books. Like, that's really bad if you think about it. Now imagine someone's out there maliciously doing that. They're out there spreading lies about you. They're saying that you've done things of the sexual nature that are inappropriate to you, and you spread that out there on the internet. How damaging that can be. Just imagine how interesting this case starts to become. Nobody did that. Someone heard a story and they did some research, but not very much, just enough to pull up a name. And it just all of a sudden started accusing somebody of doing something that they hadn't done. Correct. Yes, we're getting calls from different parties, and I don't remember who now, and so I would not misspeak to that. And there, I remember, I said, if you don't remember, that's the answer. Yes. That there were things going on in Otter Creek, and that there was a hearing or a restraining order, maybe a back and forth. And again, I don't remember the details, but that there was going to be a hearing, and that we may potentially be getting a case out of it. So only to observe, I went and just stuck my head in before I had a testimony. I had a testimony coming up, so I just had a few minutes, so I went and observed. It was nothing more than that. You didn't stay. I think no. And that was the entire purpose of it. It was just an observation. And I mean, you could ask the court staff. It was not uncommon for me to do that at all. They used to have an entire docket for just restraining orders. It was not uncommon for me to try to come and sit through the entire docket for restraining orders, because we would often get cases from that. And so it was just, you mean like on Wednesdays when they have? Yes. Okay. So I tried to observe those, because oftentimes restraining orders in criminal cases will bleed together. They will overlap. And so I tried to just observe, to have that knowledge of what was going on. When did you first start working on this in this courthouse? I've never worked in this courthouse. I work in the state's attorney's office. Okay, I got you. When did you first start working for Mr. Brian Kramer? I started working for Mr. Bill Severone, or Curvone, or something like that. He the first. It was 2017. Oh, a day of infamy. 2017. Understood. So you had attended since 2017 when you're available, those Wednesday hearings here in Levy County? Yes. Had you attended those hearings before Judge Browning before? Yes. Yes. Okay. Judge Davis? No. Okay. Judge Davis did not handle that docket. And then Judge Browning passed away, unfortunately. Yes. Then Judge Thomas, Judge Grudge took over. Yes. So actually, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. I got that wrong. Judge Griffiths. How about Judge Griffiths? Let's start with Judge Griffiths. Judge Griffiths, Judge Browning. Browning was county. Sorry about that, but I have sat through them with Judge Browning. Judge Susan Bullard, I think it was. Wilson Bullard, yeah. I sat with Lancaster. Wow. How about Judge Grove? I sat some with him. Wow. So it's your experience at those hearings, let's say. Correct. Have you ever seen? I don't know the answer